Welcome, Field Home Farm Sessions, episode 340 on June 9th of 2026. I started a podcast and I had 240 and I was like, holy shit, I got more episodes than that, so I got to change that right this second. It has been a long time since I talked to everyone. Podbean has taken away my live feed where I can talk to people back and forth, so now I'm going to do one and then post it on Podbean. So I was trying to, the last probably 10 minutes, 20 minutes, I've been trying to get one on YouTube. KJ would really love a video of me doing my podcast, but I do not have that technical ability to do it. So I will just talk away and shoot the shit. Since it's been such a long time, I think the last time I talked to everyone was May the 27th, which was over a week ago. So crops are in the ground. They're growing well. I'm a chicken broiler farmer from southern Ontario, hour and a half north of Toronto. I grow broiler chickens. I have cash crop of 310 acres. I grow corn, wheat, and soybeans. I also have a few beef cows that keep me busy, and they don't keep me busy. And four young kids and a lovely wife. And just life and general and crops and everything else. So in the spring in southern Ontario, and we get the crops growing. Like I said, grow the wheat in the spring, sow the wheat in the fall. It grows up in the spring. Fertilize it, spray it, everything else. Get the other fields ready for corn and soybeans. Got those planted. So now after you get that done, you go in a hurry, pick stones, work the field, pack the field, sow the ground, and then you watch it grow. And the corn has been sprayed with some Roundup or glyphosate. There's so many bad stuff out there about different sprays and stuff, but crazy. I said they do GMO and everything's in the seed now. I remember back in the day, like 30 years ago, 40 years ago, they didn't have the technology in the seed, and you would plant the seed and then you'd have to spray it, and then to grow the seed, you spray it for a fungicide, herbicide, whatever, to kill bugs, to kill fungicide, to kill everything. You'd be going over the crops like 3 or 4 times. Now most of the genetics are in the seed, and it grows, and you spray for the other weeds that are around it, and it grows great. So you can plant it in, and like a choice, you can plant anything you want. So soybeans, I was driving around my soybean field last night. I planted a lot more soybeans than I was going to because of the high fertilizer price. So I switched from 40 acres from corn to soybeans, and we'll see what happens. So that is that. So I took off last night, and my wife goes, "Where'd you go?" And I said, "I took off. I went over and saw the soybeans." And one thing you do when you are watching your crops, even if you have GPS or assisted steering or whatever, you can always have a miss in your field. So I don't have that technology yet. I haven't, I think I should get it, but just haven't bit the bullet. Someone said if you buy the John Deere one, it costs you like another $1,200 or $1,400 a year for the updates or something, which is kind of horseshit. But that is a typical John Deere. Even though I love John Deere, and probably Case too, it's a typical John Deere. You got to keep getting money. How do you think you make profits? It's just screw everybody, just themselves. Hold on. I try to stay positive. Well, let's just do positive. But like every year, we had a very shitty fall and a very shitty winter. Very cold, lots of snow. Everything else, we kept busy with different things. But it does make you appreciate the spring and summer in Ontario. And there is no better place to live than southern Ontario in middle of spring to middle of fall. And summer is just awesome too. It can get a bit humid, but you don't throw little square bill. We don't throw little square bills anymore. We have cab tractors and everything else, so it's not as bad as it used to be. Kids today don't even understand half, not even 90% of what used to happen. But so yeah, it's a great. And like everything else, like I say, we had lots of snow. It melted. A very wet spring, and next thing you know, we need rain. Everything else, I said to another guy, I said, when I was in this a month ago, I said, stop complaining about the rain, because in a month and a half, the end of June, we won't have any. Well, this is the start of June. We haven't had hardly any, but when I was driving up to the cottage with my oldest daughter and her friend last weekend, it was raining the whole way, and I said to my wife, "Do we get any of that rain?" We got like a tenth and a half, which is it's a little bit. It's better than nothing, but barely, because we do need rain again. It's supposed to rain this afternoon, so hopefully we get a nice half inch or inch of rain. A nice calm rain too would be great. So. And yes, we have a cottage. We bought a cottage after I sold the cows. A year after we sold the cows, we used to rent a cottage up north of Huntsville every year for a week, and then 2 weeks, and then a cottage came up for rent 3 doors down from the cottages we rented, and we know it's on the west side and everything else, and it was a decent price, so we said, why not? Let's buy it, and my wife and kids love it, and I do enjoy it myself. So it's a beautiful lake. You can swim in it, and some lakes, I know it sounds funny, but some lakes, it's not as nice. Like Lake Simcoe's cold. You wouldn't even go near unless you're one of those cold plunge guys, which is, I don't enjoy it. Woodbridge Gord says his son does that out of the sauna into the lake and all that shit. I'm like, no, I like it warm. I'm at the age now where I like what I like, and I like it warm. I want a warm. If I go in a sauna, I'm not jumping in a cold lake, and if I'm somewhere else, I'm not jumping in doing a cold plunge. I want to be nice. So, cottage is gorgeous last weekend. My daughter's got a sunburn. She said I should have stopped and told her. I said, well, you're 15 years old, almost 16. Pretty sure you can put on sunscreen when you need it. So it shouldn't be up to me. Chickens, I got broiler chickens, so I got them last Monday, so they are a week in, and the one barn, my newest barn where I'm sitting in right now, I have 2 barns, 20,000 square foot each, basically 20,000 chickens in each barn, 5 times a year, every 10 weeks, and my old barn seems to be doing okay all the time, so my new barn's it's struggling a little bit, but not too bad, but I do enjoy it. You go in, it's a business. You grow chickens for the market, for Swiss Chalet, Costco, whatnot. You feed everybody, and it's a good business. They go out, and you don't have any chickens for 2 or 3 weeks. And you clean the barns, you disinfect sometimes, and then you get them ready do it all over again and see what happens. You can always, if you get it, that's a good thing they said, if you get a bad flock of chickens, you start over again. And then in 10 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever, you start over again. You see what happens again. Excuse me. And I'm on the Chicken Farmers of Ontario board. I'm one of 9 board members. It's always interesting. We had a meeting last week, and it was a very intense meeting. There was a lot of things discussed, and we had some topics we had to go in-depth discussions on, and votes and whatnot, and couple farmers that aren't happy about some things, and you have to deal with that too, and staff looks after it, and the staff will bring forth something to the board, and you have to vote on it, yes or no. You represent all 1,300 chicken farmers in Ontario, but at the same time you do represent your district, and you're voted on that board to voice your opinion and have a vote, and you can change a lot of things in bylaws, for the good or for the bad, depending on the board. I think we got a good board right now. I think we're doing a pretty good job. So, toot our own horns. We do have a DCR, District Committee Representative meeting tomorrow, Hubie Jen. So hopefully you're on that. What pisses me off a little bit is we had a director he was a director, I think, for 21 years, and a DCR or whatever. So when I was a DCR, that was the only method I was used to, so he would never tell me exactly what our job was as a DCR chair, so I would just call him up, get all pissed off, and I'd say, when do we have a meeting? He goes, oh, you want a meeting? And then we schedule a meeting, but technically what's supposed to happen is the DCR chair is supposed to schedule the meeting for the whole district when you're ready for the meeting, and then you have a meeting, so that's a little bit different. So I'm trying to get my DCR chair to call a meeting when they want a meeting. If they had too many meetings a year, I would say that's too many, but we don't nearly have enough. And I call people, and we do have conversations, but it'd be better to get together once in a while. And it's always interesting. We are, I don't say we promote and we defend. We promote our industry to the politicians. We promote our industry to the public, but also we have to defend our organization against non-supply managed people, and also people that don't eat meat, and everybody else. I think we're doing a really good job. When the world needs food, we do a good job, and we regulate. So the good and shitty part about being a broiler chicken farmer is you have audits. Hubie Jen will be laughing because she knows. So next week is my audit, and I have to get on the computer today and do some crap. Unfortunately, I do not get a pass being a director, so I have to do just the same as everybody else, and you have to do a water sample and just make sure your barn is fit to grow chickens, how you do it, your different checks. You have a bunch of checkpoints you have to do to make sure that your chickens are healthy and do not have an accident, like a generator fail or something that you can prevent beforehand by keeping your generator in top notch, keeping water lines, just everything, feed lines, water lines, temperature controls in top notch, and make sure your barn is working perfect. So I have that beautiful audit next week. And last week we had our DCR meeting at lunchtime. They have like a staff appreciation for the summer. So all the board members are there, and they had a food truck outside for lunchtime. So it wasn't anything extra. It was just like a lunch. It was an extra lunch. It was an hour lunch. And then we did a cornhole board tournament. And I made it to the semifinals, which was awesome. And one of the staff members won it, and they won the cornhole board. Now, this was like not a Hubie Jen cornhole board, because, or they call it corn toss, because I guess cornhole means going up the ass, and that's just not whatever, cricket. They were like little light bags, and they had like multiple holes in the board. I was like, fuck this. So anyways, Hubie Jen, we bought one from Costco for $100 for home. My one daughter loves playing. I kicked her ass last night. And then bought one for the cottage. We have two now, but you never know, Hubie Jen. I might be putting an order in for a special one, but I know I always say that. Stanley Cup Finals. So anybody that knows me, my first time listeners know that, I'm a huge hockey fan, small baseball fan, but huge hockey fan. Most Canadians are. Long time San Jose fan. I know that doesn't seem like, but I've been a San Jose fan for probably 15 years with San Jose Sharks. Been to many a games in Detroit when they used to play them in the playoffs, and many a games when Toronto plays them. So, but right now, it's the Las Vegas Knights and the Carolina Hurricanes in the Stanley Cup Finals. Las Vegas, they're close games. I was looking at it the other day. Las Vegas won 5-4 the first game. Carolina won in overtime, I think 4-3 the next game. And then Vegas won. And I watched the whole game from Woodbridge. Woodbridge Gord's cottage up there. He has TV. Let's say we have TV. We don't have Wi-Fi up there, so we just have a TV, but he's got all the satellites and everything else. So we watched the whole game. It was an amazing game. So Mitch Marner, the old mystery and KJ's favorite player, got a hat trick and another point. So he's leading the league in point, leading the playoff players in points for Stanley Cup. And I don't forget how many he has, almost 30. 3 goals, a natural hat trick, the fastest hat trick in Stanley Cup history, which is pretty good something. I know that's not even English. But then you're watching, and all of a sudden Carolina has like 3 goals in 39 seconds. Now, why Tortorella wouldn't have called a timeout after the second goal, I don't fucking know. Like, that's a misstep on him. I don't know why he wouldn't have called that, but he didn't. But they went to overtime, and we watched their first period. They start, the bad thing about it is they always start like 8 o'clock at night, I guess for the Western time frame, but 8 o'clock at night, you're not getting, like, it was after midnight by the time we watched I usually watch the first 10 minutes of the overtime, and then I say, fuck it, I go to bed, but I was with Gord, so we watched the whole first period, and I said, okay, I'm going back home, so went back to our cottage. I just brushed my teeth, whatever, got ready, checked the internet. Next thing you know, Vegas won. So it was good. Vegas won. So now they're up 2-1. Mystery. 2 more games to go. It's great hockey, though. It's great hockey. Good saves, good passes, good everything else. Fast as shit and everything else. So great time. And then KJ and Mystery have to always say, duh, Jays, when they win on my text. But they never say something else when they lose because they're not. I think they were almost 500. Or they were 530 and 31, and now they're like 32 and 36, something like that. So, Jays have not been doing great. I don't even watch them anymore. Stanley Cup's on. I don't even pay attention to them. So, I'll pay attention. I'm a bandwagon guy. If they start to win and start to get better, I'll watch them again. It'll be good baseball. But if they don't, well then, too fucking bad. So the kids wanted to go down to the Jays game. I started looking at prices, and it's like, holy fuck. Blue Jays tickets are insane prices. I do not ever want to sit in the 500 levels again. That does not turn me on. You don't even see the game, really. You're watching the screen. Might as well stay at home. So I would like to sit down the 100, 200 level, and those prices are like 100 and just you pick. Like $90 up, $90 to $200, and a family of 6 is not... It's not really affordable, so we'll see what happens. Concerts, get into concerts. There's everybody. So Luke, what the hell's his name? You know who I'm talking about. Luke came. I know I can't remember his name. He came to play a concert in Toronto, and I didn't even know the Rogers Stadium's the old Downsview Park where they had the 2003 SARS concert with AC/DC and the Guess Who and whatnot. I can't remember his name. You'll comment after. But anyways, he had a big concert down there, and tons of people, like thousands of people. It was crazy. And then Guess Who played, and they look like they're ready for the old age home. Holy shit! Apparently they put on a good concert. Don Felder was there. I just not in a concert mood. I'll tell you in a minute what I did buy tickets for, but. Guess Who? Yeah, that's great. Don Felder played somebody else, but I'm assuming that'll be one of their last concerts because they're like 80. Like, fuck, can you imagine 80 years old and you're playing concerts? Like, good for them, but holy shit. And Rush is out on the road right now, so Rush is playing concerts like crazy. And then last night, I did buy some tickets to Jimmy Carr. If you've ever seen or heard of Jimmy Carr, go online, YouTube Jimmy Carr. The guy's fucking hilarious. He is one of the dirtiest comedians, but one of the smartest comedians. Like, very intellectual, just dirty and spot on, smart, and everything else. The guy is awesome, and so he's coming to Barrie in October. He's coming to Barrie to Paul Sadler, where my daughter plays hockey. It's going to be an awesome concert. I'm not taking my daughter. I asked my wife, and my wife's going to have to watch a couple concerts. She doesn't have quite the... She used to before she became a mother of 4, but she doesn't quite have the dirty mind like I do, and I still have it. So, about that. So, and the concert tickets weren't too bad either. They're like under $100. They're like $79 a piece, so that was pretty good. Planted some trees. One thing when you live on a farm, or even if you have a little bit of acreage, not Thailand Kevin's fucking house. You wouldn't plant a tree on that house, but that's where he likes to live. Called Dirty Mike this morning, left him a nice message. Get back to me, Dirty Mike. So I planted some trees along the south side of our house. They had these snowball trees when I moved here 27 years ago, and 26 and a half. And these snowball trees are good for like 2 weeks of the year. They have snowballs. They look pretty, blah, blah, blah. But they're sticky, scratchy, crappy trees. They don't look good. They might have looked good when they were younger, but they do not look good at all now. So pulled the last 3 out with the tractor in the spring. My wife said, "Oh, I don't really want you to move them." I said, "Well," I didn't say, "Well." I just pulled them out with the tractor, and then you got no choice. Then I ordered these trees from a guy up the road. It goes Jacob McKeag. I always say Jake McKeag, but it's Jacob McKeag. Has Lodestar Tree Farms. Awesome place. He lives there. It's beautifully manicured. It's a gorgeous place. It's almost too nice to buy trees from. It's a gorgeous place. So you got these 10 trees, Serbian pine trees. They're going to turn bluish tinge, and they're going to be an awesome awesome break, privacy, kind of a privacy tree fence for our south side of our house, because just north of Bond Head, which is about 2 kilometers away, they're building houses. And I said to my wife, if you look with binoculars, you can see inside. And you might be, if you really, really, really have good binoculars, you might be able to see me naked. But I'm not too worried about that. But just the privacy factor when you're having a campfire or something like that, just to have some trees. So pay some bills, do some audits, just shit going on. You got to do a bunch of stuff. Setting the air conditioners up. We live in an old farmhouse, so the back of the house where we are, the air conditioner doesn't hit up there very much, so we have a window one. So every spring-ish, you got to bring up the air conditioner, set that all up. My oldest daughter needs one too. Then my youngest daughter, she says, I want one. I'm like, ugh. You would think it's cool enough in the house, but you never know. But thank you for listening today. It's this podcast format is not my favorite. It's not ideal. I tried to get on YouTube. I was trying to do a video on that, and I just, like I said, I'm not a techie guy. So KJ got to help me, or you're going to get this like once a week. But thank you for listening today, and take it easy and be good, or be good at it. You got to do one or the other. I'll talk about 4-H next meeting. Oh, the judging. I'll talk about that after. Talk to you later. Bye.